All right, I'm looking at another fibble. This is the game that's just like Wordle, but on every row, one of the clues is a lie. They're starting us with fault. And I want the yellow and green to both be true. Let's do taffy. That seems like a good follow-up. Okay. Well, no contradictions, which is interesting. If there is an F, well, but the A or the Y could be. I was gonna say if the A and the Y are true, then one of the F's has to be a lie. Because for all the F's to be true, the F would have to be second or fifth. So if the A and the Y are true, one of the F's is a lie. Could we do fancy? No, because then everything would be true in taffy. We'd need to have, interesting. So for the F to be at the beginning, then the A, okay. You can put the F at the beginning, but you can't have the A and the Y then, because then the T has to be the lie. Or the second F, but that's not going to work either. The T would have to be the lie, but then the T would be the lie in fault, and the F would be the lie. So that doesn't work. So if the F is at the beginning, you can't do the A and the Y. Could we do something like this? We could. We'd need to have a U or an L. Laffy? Like Laffy Taffy? I don't think that's, no, you can't do that anyways, yeah, because it's a double F. I'm inclined to just assume there's no F. Which could be, I don't know, or we could do FA and not have the Y. That's a possibility too. Something like false. Oh, doesn't work because the F is the lie. We don't need, I was thinking we needed a U or an L. Okay, so no Y, we just knew letters. Farce. Let's go with that. Okay, well now one of these two F's is, well, you can look at fault and farce or taffy and farce. Either way, one of the F's is a lie. So the green A's are definitely true. That's about all we know there. We could do FA. We'd need to have an R. Something like fairy is interesting, except it doesn't work, like we already said, because you can't have the F with the Y. The F at the beginning with the Y. Which is interesting. Could do fairs. Let's try it. Okay, well, we know this is true. Didn't get any other contradictions. Now, we could go back to something like this with no F. The F would be the lie in the first two. We'd need a C or an E and an I or an S. You can almost do like dairy, except you need a C or an E. And that's the problem. If you do this, that doesn't work. And S there, S here. But then you need a C or an E. That's not going to work. I don't think we can do... It's interesting. I don't think we can do the A-R-Y. You could still do F-A something like this. But then it's getting really tricky to... What's going to come between the A and the R then? I'm still thinking no F. We can do this. We can still have no F, but then we have to have a Y, don't we, if there's no F. So maybe no R there. Because if there's no F, then we have to have the Y, because the F is the lie in fault and taffy. But we have to have... do we have to have an R? No, we don't have to have an R. The R could be the lie. Twice. Let's do something. I like to repeat letters on this puzzle to try and find contradictions. Let's do dandy. Let's see what happens there. Okay. Well, we know the A is the lie. We know the A is the lie. The Y is the truth here. This D means that R has to be the lie there, so there's no F, so it's the lie twice. Okay, good. Good. That worked out well. So, we've got the A and the DY. We need to have... So we know the R isn't fourth. If there is an R... I mean, we could... The problem is if we put an R here, then we have to have a C or an E. And that's not going to work. So the only way we could have an R now is if it is there. We could do hardy. Yeah, that was a hard E puzzle, wasn't it? No, not too bad. Got it in 5. We just had to pull the right taffy at the fairs and get to the dandy answer, I suppose. But anyways, let me know how your solve went and if you got tripped up by the F being the lie twice. The F was the lie twice and the R was the lie twice. That's what really made it difficult for me. But, you know, it's just the luck of what you guess. So let me know how it went for you. And, of course, be sure to subscribe for more.